This is probably the part where Netflix is going to release this on New Year's Eve. Cheeky bastards. So finally, after all these teasers and all the hype, we have finally got the first trailer for the Punisher Netflix series. And boy does it not disappoint. I mean, with the exception of the release date. But you know, outside of that, really good trailer. And in this series, we do know that Frank Castle at this point in time has fulfilled the role of the Punisher. And being the Punisher is his new purpose in life. And the basic premise for this series is very straightforward, as the Punisher is trying to exterminate those who are responsible for the deaths of his wife and child. But given that Frank Castle is a psychopath, pretty much everyone is after his head. And speaking of his family, we do know that we're gonna have more flashbacks revolving around his life before he became the Punisher. Or more accurately, before the impending demise. As we will actually get to witness the deaths of both Frank Castle's wife and child. And we'll also get to see how that will further haunt Frank Castle as a character. Now what I love about this trailer is how they perfectly captured the essence of Frank Castle as the Punisher. And how he is more or less a one-man army, as we get to see the Punisher take on a number of enemies by himself. And also Frank Castle is a guy who has more or less nothing to lose, given that his humanity has been stripped away from him. And this is exactly what the Punisher is all about, and all he really cares about is to avenge his family's death. And we also get to see Micro make an appearance in this series, which is no surprise given that he was actually teased at the end of Daredevil Season 2. And it appears that Micro will have a pretty big role within this series. And we also get to see a glimpse of Billy Russo, who I believe is going to be the main villain for the Punisher. And it appears that Billy Russo will not become his alter ego Jigsaw until at the very least the end of Season 1. And I could imagine by the end of Season 1, we'll get to see Billy's face get dismantled, only for it to become closer to what his comic book counterpart's face is like. And it also appears that in this series, we'll get to see some flashbacks of Frank Castle back when he was in the Marines. And I'm still going to predict this right here now, Mark Spector will make a cameo within these flashbacks, given that he too was part of the Marines at one point. And even if he doesn't appear in the flesh, I do believe that he'll at the very least get a mention. Now as you can see from this trailer, you can tell that this series is going to be more action based in comparison to the other shows. And the overall violence has been further increased, with vans crushing cars, a bunch of explosions taking place in the house, only to harm a bunch of people, as well as a ton of gunfights, courtesy of the Punisher himself. And even more devastating explosions taking place, probably having more explosions than any other Netflix series so far. To top it all off, it seems like The Punisher is going to be the gory show in the Netflix side of the MCU thus far, if not any of the Marvel shows that have ever came. And this is all incredibly fitting for The Punisher, because his world is incredibly fucked up. And I have strong hopes that this series will be up there with Daredevil and Jessica Jones. And this is going to be the definitive Punisher that we all deserve, and I cannot wait for this series to finally come out. So what do you think of the trailer for The Punisher, and are you incredibly hyped to see the series when it finally comes out? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, take care and have a good one.